Hi everyone, this is Adriana, and I'm here with my new name that I've given this channel called Starry Sky Readings. I decided to change my name because I am not just doing tarot readings anymore, but I am also doing astrology. So I wanted a new name that would encompass all of that. And it's going to be the name of my website that I am still working on. Technically, you can see it, but I still need to do some work on it. But anyways, this video is going to be about the Libra lunar eclipse and how it's going to affect you and your sun and rising sign specifically. This could also affect your moon sign though, because it is a lunar eclipse. So I would actually check your moon sign for this reading too. Okay, so these are going to be the 12 horoscopes on all 12 signs. I also want to just quickly say thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have shown us. Me and my grandmother, we started our podcast videos on YouTube and our first video, and we received so much love and support. So we really are grateful for that. So if you haven't seen it already, you can still check that out. We actually talk a lot about this Libra lunar eclipse. So I won't talk too much about the aspects and things of what it's about in this video. You can go to that video to learn more about it and what to expect. But in this video specifically is dealing with horoscopes on your 12 signs. So I wanted to put this out there for anyone who wants to check how it will affect you. Do keep in mind, this is a general reading, so take it with a grain of salt. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. You may find after the lunar eclipse that actually some of it might resonate. So feel free to take notes, grab a cup of tea, and enjoy this video. It's the 25th of March, and it's happening at 7 a.m. in the UK or at 3 a.m. in the United States Eastern time. So it might be 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 12 a.m., depending where you're at in the United States. So you can kind of use that as a point of reference, but you really won't be able to see this lunar eclipse because it's a penumbral eclipse, which we do talk about in our video that we uploaded a few days ago. So you really won't be able to see it too much. Now, the solar eclipse coming up, that is something that certain places in the world will be able to see because it is a total solar eclipse. And mainly the themes with this Libra lunar eclipse is about finding neutrality and peace. This Libra eclipse is opposing the sun, obviously, which creates an eclipse. The sun is in Aries, and it's really this play of relationships here. We have the masculine and feminine, the feminine being Libra, and then Aries being the masculine. So there's really this dance between the masculine and feminine energies happening with this eclipse. Yes, it will affect relationships. I don't feel it necessarily is going to affect them in a negative way, unless, of course, it's a relationship that is maybe on the verge of ending. And that goes for, family connections or friendships too. So it doesn't always have to be romantic relationships. But I think the main theme is just finding, and again, this is what we were kind of talking about in that last video, finding that inner acceptance within yourself, finding the inner peace within yourself, finding your own value. And we'll see with some of the signs here that does come up. So without talking too much more about that, like I said, you can get the full rundown in our podcast video. Now I will go into the 12 signs. I will have the timestamps down below. I'll probably pin them in the comments, or I'll put them in the description, or maybe I'll do both. So if you want to just jump right to your sign, again, I would check your sun, moon, and rising sign. Just check all three, because the moon sign might actually play more into this lunar eclipse. So more in with our emotions here. And if you enjoy this video, please do give this a like and subscribe to my channel to see future videos. Let's start with Libra. So Libras, you guys, I'm going to start with you first. I also have Libra in my chart. I have a Libra moon. So Libra, sun, moon, and rising signs. This eclipse is going to be affecting your first house. This is all about the house of self-identity, how you see yourself, and how you kind of present yourself to the world. How you are expressing yourself. So you could actually be feeling some changes in your personality or just how you view yourself. You might be doing some more exploration on finding yourself. So some questioning there. I was also intuitively getting a bit of loneliness for some of you. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you are necessarily lonely. Maybe there's ways to fill your time doing something that you're passionate about. What's something that brings you happiness and gives you that sense of self-identity within yourself, Libras? So you need to find balance with this and balance time with yourself and with those close to you. So having that time on your own, but also with those that are closest to you, those who are important to you. So I do have a feeling some of you guys might be feeling a little lonely. So if you can make that time to surround yourself with your soul family, you know, your tribe, whatever you want to call it, the ones who are, you know, really down for you, who are there for you, reach out to them during this time, especially if you do start feeling a little lonely, or utilize the time to yourself to explore some things that, you know, really help make you feel more grounded in yourself and in your own identity. Maybe you can even explore something new. Okay. All right. So the next one, Virgos. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. This is going to be affecting your second house. Okay, second house is ruled by Venus. So there is some sort of Venus also not only deals with relationships and romance, but with money and things of value. So you could be experiencing some changes in your finances and material possessions. So be mindful at this time with the lunar eclipse. I would say a few days before, a few days after. And I'm going a little bit on a tangent here, but I think it's better to just say it. Mercury retrograde is also coming in April, on the 1st of April. So I would still be just extra careful about where you spend your money. Try not to book anything, especially in April. We're kind of in the pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde, so do be careful of that. But yeah, all in all, though, be mindful of overspending or overindulging too. So not, you know, having too much of things that you can consume, like, you know, drinks or sugary foods, sweets. I know sometimes that can be hard. Somebody who likes sweets too. But be mindful of your spending and even just material things. Try not to go overboard with that. This could also have to do with shared finances with a partner. So is there a balance between the both of you? You might start evaluating that. So if you guys are in committed relationships or marriages, you might be looking at that and kind of reevaluating, you know, are things really balanced here in this area of shared finances? Is one person maybe paying more or less, whatever that might be? Or I think though with the eclipse, I feel like it's really actually bringing a balance to that. So I think it's going to kind of naturally happen, especially for those of you, or maybe you were feeling like things were maybe out of balance in your shared finances. And that doesn't mean to, so for those of you, maybe if you're in a marriage where one person, you both have agreed mutually that one person will pay more money for something, and the other person will pay less for something, you know, that by any means doesn't mean that the other person has to suddenly start paying more. It's just for those of you more so who are maybe struggling to figure that out, that is going to balance out during this lunar eclipse. So yeah, you guys will find a way. There might be some discussion between the both of you. And what does balance mean for you when it comes to finances? So that's a question that might come up for you to evaluate and ask yourself. So yeah, be honest with yourself, especially if you have a bad habit of overspending. Could you be actually saving more than what you're letting on? Maybe you're kind of fibbing to yourself a little bit. So that kind of goes back to that overspending again. So all in all, just be careful of doing any sort of, you know, big splurges on anything. Try to start putting some money away if you can. Okay, so that was Virgo. Now let's go to Leo. So I'm going in order by the house. So we're on to the third house. So Leo, sun, moons, and risings. This lunar eclipse is going to be affecting your third house. Excuse me, let me get a quick tea sip here. Sometimes I start talking really fast and I get thirsty. Okay. So Leos, you might see some changes in your community where you live. Maybe new housing, maybe changes with people here. Maybe there's some sort of, well, I think in some countries, there is, the United States comes to mind. There's some voting going on, I believe. So that could possibly be happening there. And this is also affecting your communication. The third house is all about communication. It's ruled by Mercury. And Mercury he's the messenger god in Greek mythology. He is the messenger. So when it comes to communication, what needs to improve here, Leo? Is there something that needs to be improved with your communication? Or maybe how you are receiving communication? Are you listening? Maybe that's something, maybe it's not more so you speaking, but maybe more of the listening and how do you receive the communication? So that's something being highlighted for you guys during this lunar eclipse. With that being said, Leo the lion here, don't roar too much, especially if there seems to be any sort of tension or a fight progressing here or some sort of disagreement. Try to avoid the argument as best as you can, even if you need to take a moment to step back. Okay, so think about how you communicate here. Maybe you can take the higher ground in a sense, and you know, not let it turn into an argument just because you might disagree on something here, or if it's the other person maybe disagreeing with you, you can take back your power and choose to step away from that. Sorry, the lighting's a little weird. The sun keeps going in and out. This could also indicate too your siblings reaching out. So if any of you have some siblings that maybe live farther away, or even if they live nearby and you haven't heard from them in a while, you might reach out to them or they may reach out to you. Okay. So that is what you have to look forward to here, Leos. Okay, next sign is Cancer. Cancers, this is going to be affecting your fourth house. The fourth house is all about relationships. This is this is actually very Cancerian. This being in the fourth house, because Cancers, typically the sign of Cancer here is there's an importance for Cancers of having a sense of home, a sense of family, and for some being mothers or in relationships, marriages. So this is affecting, your fourth house here. So this is a huge relationship impact affecting, your home and family life. So you may feel the need to spend more quality time at home. So is there something off balance in your relationships? Maybe you've been doing a lot of uh, work. You've maybe just you haven't had a choice, but you've been so busy with work and you are feeling the need to just be at home and spend time with your family, or just having that, again, just that time at home, maybe doing some spring cleaning. I know I'm feeling that too. I'm a Cancer rising, so I'm starting to really feel that as well. I even though I have a very busy next couple of weeks, but yeah, you try to balance it the best that you can, though. So it's like that, as they say, the work-life balance, right? So a lot of you are, feeling that. And if there's something off balance in your relationships, whether it's with family, your kids, your partner here, what is off balance and how can you find the balance? Because that's what Libra is all about. This is a Libra lunar eclipse, and this is really asking us all to look at what's out of balance here. So could just be that you want to be at home more and you haven't had a chance to be, or maybe also that something is off balance in your relationship. So find a way to balance that out, see if there's a solution to that. Okay, so next sign we have Gemini. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising signs. This is going to be affecting your 5th house. So the 5th house is all about creativity and children here, or young people. So relationships with children are being influenced. If you guys, if some of you Geminis work with children, you could see some maybe changes going on in your job field with children, or also just noticing maybe something going on with the kids that you look after, that you, again, it depends on your line of work with children, but you could definitely see some things there. Maybe a little bit of drama could have to do with perhaps the parents, or oh, who knows what, especially if it's school, if it's the school system, it could be so many things with that. But yeah, there is something here being affected with children. Now, with those who have children, this could be a challenge for you to find that time to spend with them. If that's been feeling off balance here, now is the time where you can make the time to spend quality time with your kids. Okay, so that is what this eclipse is highlighting here. This may also, for some of you, represent some creative pursuits. If you've been feeling a little bit more creative, yeah, this is a great time for you to get into your creativity. If there's a project you've been wanting to work on, no matter what it is, if it's something creative, it's a great time for you to really get in tune with that during this eclipse, especially if it's a project that you've been meaning to get done. So yeah, definitely nice to take advantage of that. This being a Libra lunar eclipse, I talk about Libra being a sign of finding balance, but Libra is actually very artistic. So Geminis, if you guys are feeling, yeah, the creative urge here, it's a great time for that with this eclipse. And lastly, I have to also mention, intuitively, some of you might be doing some inner child healing, maybe through the creativity. So if you guys do a creative project of some kind, that actually might be something really therapeutic to you, that actually helps heal your inner child here. So some of you, your inner child needs some attention. If it's not your own kids, it's your own inner child. And if you have kids, you can spend time with your kids and do something very playful and creative. And not only are you then spending time with your kids, but you're also then healing your inner child as well. So kind of hitting 2 birds with 1 stone there. Okay. All right, so that's it for Geminis. And now we have Taurus. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising signs. This lunar eclipse in Libra is affecting your 6th house. This indicates some changes to your daily routines. I do have to mention, Taurus, to be careful of your health and wellness at this time. I know spring sometimes does bring, the spring bug or sickness around. So just be a little extra careful, Taurus, of just staying extra healthy at this time. And that includes not pushing yourself too much, especially if you are very busy, if you have a very busy life. Don't push yourself too much. That actually might end up making you feel a little ill or get a cold. So just be extra cautious with that. Eat some healthy foods, maybe make some good soups and things like that. Start getting into a good daily routine. So yeah, just finding balance, as the Libra energy calls for, is finding balance in your daily activities and knowing your limits. Okay. I did note too, when I was looking at this, this could be affecting those with thyroid or throat issues. So do be careful of that. Somebody close to me comes to mind. So please do just take the extra time to take care of yourself and don't push yourself too much. Even if you really want to, do a lot of things or go out more, just take it easy. Slow and steady wins the race, right? But that is your message for you, Taurus. Just basically balance your daily routines. Don't push yourself too hard, okay? All right, next we have Aries. Aries, sun, moon, and rising signs. This Libra lunar eclipse is affecting your seventh house. The seventh house is about relationships, specifically more so marriages, though, or I guess committed relationships as well, and long-term commitments. So anything you've committed to for the long term, maybe a work project even. So what is out of balance in your relationship or marriage here, Aries? Okay, that's what this eclipse is highlighting for you guys. Also, happy almost birthday, you guys. We're going into Aries season, so it's almost your birthdays. What is out of balance though here? There's something being highlighted for you guys in particular with your relationship or marriage, or a long-term contract that you agreed. And that could be a marriage, or again, could be some sort of work project. So something has to give here and is being highlighted with this eclipse. So that's something for you to take some time to think about, let that sit. The moon in Libra pushes you to consider the feelings and emotions, because that's what the moon is all about. It's about feelings and emotions. Consider the feelings of the other person involved here, your partner. Okay, you are the warrior, as Aries is the god of war in Greek mythology, but some battles are won through peace. And that's that Libra energy. Libra is about finding peace and neutrality. Okay, so picking your battles here. That's something for you guys to really, really think about here and balance out in your relationships. Okay, so next we have Pisces. Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. This is affecting your 8th house. Also, happy birthday to Pisces. I know it's finishing up now with your season, but happy belated birthday to Pisces. The 8th house is very deep. It's very transformative. And of course, Pisces, you guys you're always a very deep sign. So with it being in the 8th house, things are extra deep and sensitive for you guys. You're feeling things extra deeply at this time, very sensitive. Some of you guys might be feeling your intuition even heightened at this time as well. So not only is it your season, Pisces, but this lunar eclipse is affecting some deep inner work and transformation that needs to be had here within you guys. So what's out of balance in your psyche? I feel like intuitively it's something to do with your psyche here. What is out of balance? Okay, so look inwards and make peace with all you've been through. This can also, I will say, this can indicate a heightened, I hope I can say this, sexual drive, okay? So sex drive here at this time, or shining a light on some maybe issues there. So if you some of you are experiencing any issues with that, this might be shining a light on that. Is that something that you guys have to look at or get or take care of it in some way? Okay, just something for you to think about. So not all may feel that, but the 8th house can indicate that. Okay, so looking really inwards here, yeah, Pisces, you guys are doing the work here with this lunar eclipse. This is impacting you on a very deep emotional level. Again, what is out of balance in your psyche here? Do you feel some sort of shame, or are you harboring any feelings of shame or guilt? Now's the time to release that with the full moon. Okay. And find the balance in it. Find the balance in it. That is what Libra is all about here with this eclipse. Okay. Now for Aquarius. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising signs. This eclipse is affecting your 9th house. So some of you have been deep into studying. So some of you Aquarius, you guys are hard at work studying, maybe researching into things. This could be especially those of you who are students, or just any of you who do it in your free time. Maybe there's some sort of topic or philosophy you're learning here. But yeah, this is calling for you to balance your study time. So if you're doing maybe too much of it, and if you're feeling a little overwhelmed from it, now is the time for you to maybe take a break. You know, maybe you guys have been doing a little too much of that and not focusing on external things in your daily life. So balance your study time. This can also indicate some personal growth that you've had or you are experiencing still. When it comes to relationships, some of you may have left a bad relationship, and not necessarily bad, I guess, but left a relationship maybe recently or in the recent past here, and you've really grown from it. You learned some lessons from it here. Again, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship too. Maybe you cut some ties with friends or family, but you've grown from it. So now it's time to evaluate, you know, the lessons that you've learned here. Some of you Aquariuses are also desiring to travel at this time. You have the travel urge. But I do have to warn you, it's best not to book anything as we are going into Mercury retrograde. So it's not a good time to book anything. So I do have to warn you about that. I would wait until after April before booking anything. If you guys want to start planning, by all means, it's a great time to plan for some travel, but try to hold off on booking anything until after April. Maybe the end of April will be okay, but your best bet will be by May, it'll be okay. Okay, so moving on now to Capricorn. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising signs. This is affecting your 10th house. This is this is very fitting for Capricorns, actually. I'm a Capricorn sun myself. And yeah, how fitting is that the house of career is aligned with Capricorn with this lunar eclipse. So there's something going on with career matters for us Capricorns. So career and job changes are being highlighted at this time. I actually think it's a very I feel it's a very positive change, and I'm starting to actually see that in my own personal career outside of what I'm doing here. But yeah, there's going to be some good changes going on. So more things balance out. You're going to see your schedule start to balance out things that you've been wanting, especially those of you who are business owners or have your own kind of self-made business going on. You're going to start seeing some better progress happening here. Things might change, things might end, or have to maybe get tweaked a little bit or changed in order for it to start progressing. But the good news is that it'll actually benefit you, whatever changes have to be made. So it's time to put your heart into your career, I wrote. Time to put, yeah, we have to put our heart into our career at this time. So really start utilize this spring energy. The spring energy is really like the start of a new year instead of back in January. I really feel like the spring energy is more revitalizing and more motivating, especially with the fire energy with Aries, because we are approaching Aries season, which is the start of spring. So utilize that fire energy to get motivated and fired up about what you are passionate about with your work, your career goals here. So some of you may even want to start doing work that you enjoy, maybe starting your own business, something that brings you more fulfillment. It's a great time to start planning for that, getting that going. I will say, do be careful about signing any sort of long-term contracts, though, as we are entering Mercury retrograde the 1st of April, so coming soon here. I would wait till after April before, just try not to sign anything. It's a great time to get stuff done, to get work done, to get planning done. But as far as signing any contracts or investing in anything, I would wait till after April. So maybe even the end of April or into May. Yeah, so you may also be getting more involved with some other people. So maybe collaborations with people that might help benefit the work that you do. Some of you might have some partnerships or teaming up with others, and it will be something beneficial for the both of you. Okay, so on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this eclipse is affecting your 11th house. So this is really asking you to check in with your social circles, with your friendships here. Has that been out of balance for you guys? Have you maybe not been able to spend as much time with your friends because of other things going on, just life in general? Or maybe you have been trying, but it's just been out of balance. Your friends or the people that you surround yourself with haven't really been getting back to you, whatever that might be. So now the time to try to bring some balance to that. I did put too intuitively that one person, this might be for some of you, not all of you, maybe putting in more effort into the friendship or the group here, if you're involved in some sort of group, than the other person or the other people. So if that message is resonating for you, now's the time to really think about that. And do you really want to invest your energy anymore into that if you're not receiving it back? Okay, so that's a message for some of you. And yeah, take back your energy if that is the case for you. Take back your power there. Don't put more energy into something if others aren't willing to do the same. Okay, don't waste your energy doing that. I would advise to not. There could potentially be some drama with friends. Potentially, yeah. So for some of you, that can happen. Just be careful with that. But for some of you, though, it might just simply be reaching out to your friends and just checking in on them and seeing, how they are. Maybe you've been so busy. Maybe you both have been so busy that you haven't had the time to really connect in a while. So for some of you, it might simply just be reaching out to your friends and seeing how they are and maybe meeting up. So your friends and your social circles are needing some attention at this time. It's being highlighted here with this eclipse. All in all, though, focus on where you see yourself going in life and who you envision being part of that. Okay, so if some of you are questioning, if you're having some issues with that, where you're questioning some of the people you're involved with or groups that you're involved with, think big picture here, think of the future, and do you see that, really being part of that future with you? Okay, so, and take from that what you will. All right, on to our last sign, Scorpios. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. This Libra lunar eclipse is affecting your 12th house. We're getting kind of spiritual with you, Scorpios, with this Libra lunar eclipse. I feel like some of you are going to have some spiritual encounters, actually. Nothing scary like that or anything. Hopefully not, knock on wood. Of course, I do that too. but more so like synchronicities, some vivid dreams, and also some ancestry stuff happening for you guys. So basically, Scorpios, you feel a need to decompress at this time. I'm getting a sense that you need to balance your quiet life with the demands of your life in general, your external life. Maybe you've been really busy with work and everything else that has to get done. I'm feeling the sense that you guys really want to just go hermit mode and just withdraw and just kind of stay in your shell for a little bit here. So you guys might just be feeling really tired. So I think for the most of you, that's all it is. But I do think some of you are also going to be having some sort of spiritual, I guess what can I say, spiritual things occurring for you. Again, maybe synchronicities happening. Your ancestors may be closely connecting with you at this time, energetically. Okay, so some of you Scorpios might be feeling that your ancestors just being maybe giving you signs in nature, or even just around the house. Yeah, things like that. And again, it's not in a bad way, but I feel like it's to help you in some way. Maybe if you guys, some of you might be really religious, and maybe if you pray, you might be feeling more inclined to do more of that at this time. So I think, especially with the ancestry thing, with maybe your ancestors, there's some sort of ancestral healing playing out, especially when it comes to your relationships, Scorpios. Whether it's romantic relationships with your own family, I think that one might actually be what it is. Some ancestral healing with your family in particular, your family relationships. So, what can you heal? What do you need to heal from your family lineage here? Is there something maybe coming up that you're starting to realize during this time? What work can you do to improve that? Okay. What can you do to improve the connection that you have to others? Not letting maybe family past trauma or family history, ancestral curses and things like that affect you. You can break the cycle. So yeah, Scorpios, you guys, kind of like Pisces too, you guys are kind of going deep here and doing a lot of inner work here. So take some much needed time to yourself during this time, especially if you are feeling that. Like I said, some of you guys might just be needing to rest and relax, maybe going more inwards. Others of you, though, might be going through some sort of spiritual awakening here. I think that was the word I was looking for, kind of a spiritual awakening going on. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this helps you. And if you would like to book a reading with me, please feel free to check out the description below on how you can reach out to me. And again, look out for our next video coming up, and wishing you guys all the best. Thanks for tuning in.